like maybe 5 or 10 minute videos, because the retrograde is serious. It's serious. No. I could not. The phone stopped working. The brand new I bought can't call, can't receive calls, and can't email. So I finally went and they traded for a new phone. So it should be working. Same number, same email address, same everything. But there was something defective with the phone. Again, these things happen on a retrograde. And because I have Mercury on the ascendant, conjunct the South Node, ooh, I really get it. So we're going to jump right in. And this internet connection problem, it happens all the time with the retrograde. With the retrograde, happens all the time. So let's go with Aries, and let's see how far we get. If I have to go back and do the other side. Mercury retrograde in Aries means making a lot of mistakes when it comes to paperwork. If you are involved in a job that you have to push paper, signing on the dotted line, forgetting to sign on the dotted line, okay? Arguments, that's with all the signs when Mercury goes retrograde. Aries is good at ignoring these things, but when it wants to, it will jump right in there and fight. Don't fight now, Aries. Now, listen to what the conflicts are telling you and proceed, tread carefully. This is a long retrograde, and it's making an aspect to Saturn, which is in your sign now in Aries, in its fall. Taurus. Thinking. Get your thoughts in order. Think straight. Sometimes you might think of something and judge it at face value. And you may be good at it, Taurus, but don't do it too much on this retrograde. Thoughts and ideas might get muddled, confused, or people will suddenly become confusing. You don't know what they're saying. You don't understand what they mean. No, people get wishy-washy around this time. So be careful with that, Taurus. Gemini. And we're going to end here and then do another 3. And then another 3. Okay? Gemini, this is your planet, Mercury. You know, you do pretty well, Gemini, with Mercury retrograde. But what you don't do well is listen to people. With you, it's grease lightning. Grease lightning, oh, grease lightning. Gemini, I can never say anything negative about you. You know, your ruler is at my ascendant, and I'm a Virgo, which means that I'm also ruled by Mercury. You know, you can't get mad at him. You do what you do. So just be patient. With Mercury retrograde here, you have to be patient, my dear or sir, Gemini, and you will be all right. You will be all right. All right. Let's see how these 3 signs go. And then I'll follow up with the other 3. So far, I'm not here getting anything from the chat. I miss you too, all of you. But you know, the retrograde makes things tough. especially for you guys that have Mercury on the ascendant. It's tough. It's tough. And then, of course, you got the ops. They're still trying to plagiarize and take property that doesn't belong to them and go to lawyers and or do a trademark. It's a hot mess. They're not going to get away with it, but it's still a distraction. But but get this. The latest one is they're doing eye spells so that I could go blind. And I know who it is too. Because they see me with that big, looks like a telescope. But I'm like, okay, now I don't use it. And I look better and I see better. So you see, that's how you harness the energy. That you transmute the energy. You want to be blind? Now my eyesight is good. And they probably will go blind or have cataracts or something. They don't understand how energy works. That's why Jesus said, love your enemies. Love them. They ain't hurting you. They think they are. They're not. And if you know and you are trained in the occult, you will know how to transmute that energy. Let's talk about Cancer. Okay, it seems like I got some time. And it's not teetering. Okay. Cancer, with Mercury retrograde, it's a time for self-reflection. Mull things over. Make a list of all the transgressions that have occurred to you, that people have done to you. But also make a list of those emotional wins. Because, you remember the transgression, Cancer, but you don't seem to remember the wins. And there's a lot of wins here. You might get too absorbed in the negative. So make a list of the positive. So when the negative comes, because, the moon, it ebbs and flows and ebbs and flows. And with that comes the complications of emotions. Stay anchored in the positive effects of the moon, which will be in conjunction with Mercury. And no, not everything is a big deal. It's just the part of the daily vicissitudes of life, which the moon represents, Cancer. And you do too. Leo. Oh boy. Leo's tough. Arrogant, entitled, bellows. It's hard to see any rationale towards another person when it comes to Leo. Remember, Leo represents the king and is very self-serving, narcissistic energy. I'm not saying that Leo's a narcissist. It's just narcissistic energy. And for you to understand what I mean by that, you have to look at the sun. The sun doesn't know that there are other planets around it. It stands in its own fire of light. So it cannot reference itself. The sun has no mirror reflection of itself. So it could be dangerous or it could be beneficial. But the sun here is mostly dangerous. Too hot, too intense for the sun. Well, the Leo person can become very intense or be too intense. And he might not even be or she aware of it. Take time to think and reflect like Cancer, Leo. We'll stop here.